Hey everybody, welcome back to the Broken Shifter podcast. We are here today to discuss Dover, the Monster Mile, which is a self-cleaning track, and we learned that at one point on Sunday. So I'm not hosting this week. Carbon will be hosting. But anyways, as usual, introductions, because I forgot that last time. I am Hurdon.
I think I'm Carbon, therefore I am.
And I'm Caboose.
And I'm Hurdon. Carbon, take it away.
Alright. So we had, of course, Jimmy Johnson winning the race. Spoilers. Truex won stage 1 and 2.
Boy.
Yeah, Jimmy. The ending was a very debated, probably, race. Like, it's going to be, I think people are going to argue over a little bit, thinking they should have called the caution out earlier, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
He's been stealing some this year.
Yeah. Larson led the most laps, I believe. And
Truex second.
Larson and Truex both had a really good race again, only to fall off at the very end. Because I think Larson didn't go on the tires, he risked it. And it didn't really pay off very well for him.
It sure didn't.
Yeah, we saw Chase Elliott finish a race, finally made it through a race, without getting crashed into. He managed top 5. Surprisingly, Danica Patrick, she managed top 10. Only because she made it through the wreck without hitting anybody.
Also saw the continuation of Brad Keselowski getting fucked.
Penske's been having issues this year. Not this year, but this last couple weeks. Like, Keselowski's been in 2 wrecks now. He hasn't finished a race in a couple of races. And then, I think it's been a month, I think, since Keselowski last finished a race.
I have no idea what's going on with fucking Logano.
Logano, yeah, he's just hasn't been competitive at all.
Ever since Kansas, he's just been
pulling a Dale Jr.
Yeah, but Dale Jr., though, he actually had a pretty good showing Sunday.
Not bad.
He finished 11th, but he was up in the top 5 at one point. Not exactly sure what happened. I think he didn't go on for tires or something like that. And
yeah, it fell off.
And then finally we had Kyle Busch, who his pit crew couldn't finish putting on one, or no, his pit crew screwed up and had the tire, what is that thing called? Well, it was the tire, the lug changer. I think that tightens
the rear tire changer.
Can't think of the name of it. Tire gun, whatever.
The impact wrench.
Had it backwards. He had it turned the wrong way to where it was supposed to take the tire off, and he went to put it on, and it was in that mode, and so he ended up just basically not doing anything at all. And the jackman didn't look at him to see he was ready, and instead just put the car down and went and assumed he was ready. And yeah, Kyle Busch's tire kind of fell off.
Tell you what, though, Kyle Busch got off pit road pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, that
tire
little
bobbling everywhere.
That little split second of flipping that switch, it's just like using a drill that you would get for a DeWalt at Home Depot or something. You gotta click a button to make it go the other goddamn way. Pit crews seem to be failing a lot lately. I know Kevin Harvick's been a big proponent of get me a better pit crew for quite a while now, because so many fuck ups. Because when people are doing 12-second pit stops, you want to get off pit road fucking quick, because that could mean winning a race or finishing 10th. And it's just Dale Jr.'s pit crew's been fucking up. Kevin Harvick's pit crew's been fucking up. Everybody's pit crew is fucking up.
Harvick's did have that one really good race where they did really well the entire race. They were just on point every single time. I think it was Harley. And then the final one,
when he had the
they screwed up. The very last pit stop, they screwed up.
Atlanta.
Also,
and
I would like to note Kevin Harvick is no longer the closer. It is now Jimmy Johnson.
Yep.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Anyways.
Because I don't think he was doing that well. I mean, he's been doing okay for the race, but
He was in
He
the top
wasn't-
5 most of the day.
Yeah.
Jimmy,
But,
without a doubt, is the best competitor
King of
under the
Dover.
Hendrick.
No, yeah, I guess he did finish
Um,
top 5 in every stage.
Yeah, Jimmy, he's been performing the best under Hendrick Motors. Yeah, sure, you got Kyle Larson there, but he's been having some iffy bits of the races here and there, while Jimmy's been staying roughly 15th or better throughout most of the season.
Chase has had some bad luck.
Chase has been
Dale
having
Jr.'s
bad
had
luck.
some bad luck.
Dale Jr., they just can't get him a fucking car that's worth a damn. And if they do, they
And when
still
they do,
fuck
it
up.
gets wrecked.
It gets wrecked,
he's
or they
been
forget a
wrecked while
spacer.
in the lead or second place twice. So
And then Casey
Yeah.
Kane, for what
Yeah,
he's
I don't
been
know
doing
what
over
to
the
say
last
about
couple of
him.
years, he's actually doing pretty good. He's been running in the top
Yeah.
15, which for Casey Kane as of late
so
is good.
he's going on 3 years without a win now. Which, I mean, Casey Kane doesn't have a shitload of wins, but it's been a while.
So, I see Casey Kane by the end of the year being maybe not a first place competitor, but maybe around 6th or 7th.
Competitive.
Yeah. So.
All right, Justin, what we got next on the topic there?
Crashes. We had 14
Okay.
cautions. It felt like the freaking second stage of our league race, Caboose.
Yeah,
It was just
Jesus.
hardly any green flag racing. We had a few incidents. One I do want to point out that happened off the beginning was LaJoy's car crashed, but it wasn't him driving it, which I find interesting, considering we always
Yeah.
joke about LaJoy. Maybe it's the equipment, not him.
Yeah.
K Racing.
BK Racing's not doing so hot.
They haven't
And
done hot,
then-
period.
Yeah. Who else is in that
Yep,
group?
okay, real quick. Imagine if Kyle Busch had the tire failures that BK Racing has. How pissed he would be at Goodyear.
He's
I think
already
he'd have an
pissed at
aneurysm.
Goodyear. I think he would have a
Probably be in
fucking
the
stroke
hospital.
and a heart attack at the same damn time.
Yeah.
Because he's just
Would
gonna
that be
he's
a
gonna be
combo?
sitting there going, "When is this fucker gonna
Can I
pop? When
just-
is this fucker gonna pop? When is this fucker gonna pop?"
Can I just say one thing about Kyle Busch that I
No.
really like that Keselowski said? So there was a whole argument on Twitter between Keselowski and the Toyota, one of the executives at Toyota.
Mhm.
And, you know, there was a little bit of probably words that shouldn't have been exchanged on Twitter. And Keselowski came out at the end basically and said he was like really angry about how the media is like praising Kyle Busch for this is his personality, this is what gets him wins. And you really think about that and you're like, why are we praising somebody for being
Who's
angry
criticizing
all the
everyone
time
else? Yeah.
and making that like a positive thing? Like, yeah, be angry and you'll be good at something. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, that's the exact opposite of anything you ever learned as a kid.
I
is
appreciate his passion.
Don't get angry. Like,
I
yeah,
appreciate the
the passion's
passion.
good, but don't.
Somebody
using
needs
it-
to get
he's-
the guy a fucking pack of tampons.
Yeah. Basically.
Because he's always on his fucking period.
The best way I can describe this is there's a difference between being an ass and being a big baby.
If you're gonna criticize, be constructive about it.
Yeah. And
I mean, you get a blown tire, maybe you ran over a piece of debris, you blew a fucking tire. Get the fuck over it. Don't blame Goodyear for every fucking problem you have.
I just don't like
It's
how
it's
the
everybody's
media,
fault but his.
I
exactly.
don't like how the media is basically turning his negativity into a positive thing and saying, "Oh yeah, that's just how he is. That's how he wins
Yeah.
races." It's like it's not a good role model,
it's
really.
not. No,
And
I don't know.
absolutely not.
if
No.
Kyle Busch can at some point recognize like, "Oh, I'm the one that fucked up," and start admitting
Yeah.
the shit, at that point,
That's where
when
shit changes.
that's when shit
think he
changes,
does.
and that's
He just doesn't admit it out loud. He thinks it to himself, and that's why he goes silent. He doesn't say anything because he knows.
Yeah. Mic drop.
Yeah.
Yep.
So once he
And
can
Ken's little stunt doing the same thing.
yeah.
That was real cute.
So once he can actually publicly admit, like, yeah, I'm the one that fucked up. I should have made a different move or something. Just along those lines. More than just once in every 3 years or some shit. That's when I can actually bring up a little bit of respect for him. But as of right now, he's just being a big baby, and he needs to grow the fuck up.
I was
There's
waiting
only
for that
like
tire
4
changer
drivers. There's only
like,
like 4
have a panic
drivers
attack.
in the garage that
when he screwed
won't
up.
admit when they fuck up. Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, big shocker there. Denny Hamlin, and Matt Kenseth.
3 out of the 4
you're noticing
Joe
a
Gibbs
pattern.
drivers.
And one's a brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
One of the Joe Gibbs drivers. So.
none of them will ever admit.
Because what was it?
That's
Denny Hamlin, I think. When they were doing the basically discussion about upcoming Dover, they were doing the interviews. I think Denny Hamlin at the very end did a mic drop just to
No, it was Matt Kenseth.
in honor. Oh, was it Kenseth? Okay, I knew it was one of the
Yeah.
JGR guys.
Now,
Don't get over yourselves.
I will say one
Kenseth
thing,
was a good
though.
guy
Fucking
until he
Toyota.
went to JGR.
I will say one thing Hamlin does occasionally admit when he fucks up. Perfect example, Sonoma last year, over the radio.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they occasionally will, but you're not going to get that out of Kyle or Kurt, either one.
Mm-mm.
They're fucking stupid.
Full of themselves.
I mean, they're very talented drivers, don't get me wrong. But anyways, on to the next.
Move on to the next couple crashes that happened. One was, speaking of who we were just talking about, Kurt Busch hit Keselowski. Kurt Busch got a little skittish there and ended up
loose.
a little bit. Ended up hitting Keselowski into the wall. Keselowski's car was it right there. That was done for him. Kurt Busch did manage to get it repaired and back on the track, but then he ended up crashing again. So, then they ended out at that point.
Not much else to say about that. I mean, is simple
Sucks
fact
for
of Kyle
Keselowski,
Larson passing. Kyle Larson passing, Kurt Busch around the outside. Kurt Busch couldn't hold on to the car. Arrow side draft. It just yanked Kurt Busch around. Kurt Busch couldn't hold on to it. I mean, I don't really think it's anything Kurt could have done. And obviously Brad, wrong spot, wrong time.
Just like last week. Wrong spot, wrong time.
He's getting the Dale Jr. luck all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, there weren't too many other. There were a few other crashes and accidents, stuff like that. There's a lot of cautions, but there wasn't anything
minor.
major except for the last lap, which kind
Yeah.
of goes into the entire the whole debate on whether or not Jimmy Johnson should have won, or if they should have cautioned it earlier. But
Yep.
Herd, do you want to explain that final incident?
Yeah, it was a pretty damn big wreck, and it started near the front of the pack. Can't remember right off the top of my head who initiated it. I know it was somebody getting in the back of somebody else, but Dover is a self-cleaning track. It's very high banked. I've been to the track before. It is so high banked that when a wreck happens and you're carrying that much speed, the cars will slide down the track in front of the other cars. And that's what created the huge kerfuffle in the middle of the damn track and what took so many cars out. So you've got, I wouldn't say there was a lot of contenders involved in it, but at the same time, it was somebody pushing hard at the end of the race, pushed another driver too hard, and just got them loose, and they lost it. It was kind of the same thing that happened, a couple of times with Truex and Larson, but they managed to actually hold on to the car. Truex pushed Larson too hard, moved him out of the way. Legitimate short track racing. And then the same thing came back. Larson pushed Truex and got him out of the way.
And
I was just gonna say real quick, it was Newman pushing Ty Dillon into the wall.
Oh, there you go.
And I will argue this a little bit. I don't think it was so much as the pushing as it is NASCAR's lately pretty shit job of cleaning the speedy dry. Because even the leaders
It
were
was really
getting
bad on the
Samsung.
final lap. It was terrible on the final lap when you see that shit just flying everywhere. How the hell are you supposed to see any fucking thing?
One, how can you see it? And two, how the hell can you drive on that shit? Because even the leaders, when they weren't pushing each other for a moment, their cars were wiggling pretty bad. So I'm sitting here, and Justin can vouch for me when the accident just prior to the last caution, when they put the speedy dry down and they were cleaning it up some, and then the cars went over it under caution. I said, "What the fuck, NASCAR, clean that shit up better." And
Yeah, they've not been doing a good job of that.
Kansas as a perfect example. I don't know.
It's always up against the wall.
Yeah, and I don't know if they just don't have the right equipment, or they're just not really trying that hard, or what the fuck's going on. But they need to get this shit together, because
They need to make a vacuum truck instead of just a jet dryer that's got brushes on it and stuff like that. The Air Titan's not going to do anything for speedy dry. They need to make a fucking goddamn vacuum truck. Make it like a huge goddamn garbage truck
that would
and
be
have
cool.
a vacuum on it.
Pick up all that crap.
Just make one. You don't need a whole arsenal of them. Just pick up the speedy dry once the oil's dried up.
Yep, and maybe even get the tire rollers out that they normally use to put down some rubber, and run it over that shit. Get it spread out a little bit, because when you have big piles, that's when people get loose. If it's just a little bit smidget here and there, it's not going to affect it that badly. But seriously, get your
what track
shit
are you going to go to? What track are you going to go to where you're not going to be racing 2, 3, and 4 wide at the end of a race? So somebody's going to be
Darlington?
on that outside lane. No, Darlington, you want to be on the outside lane.
Well, I'm saying
Darlington, the high side's the fast side.
You do those mean
Nope. Chase Elliott won at Darlington in the Xfinity Series, which I think was then the Nationwide Series, a couple of years ago, and he went 3 wide on the outside, passed a shitload of people, and won the damn race. So yes, they can go 3 wide at Darlington, but that's where the speedy dry always seems to be an issue. But I mean, I agree with Caboose. You got to get the track a little cleaner. I mean, I understand time constraints, TV, shit like that, but get it under control.
Yeah, especially when you got situations like what we had, where there were new drivers ready to pounce at any given moment, and now
that's the end of the fucking race.
Yeah, Ty Dillon is a perfect example. He's the one that went around. He was going to get his first fucking top 5 finish, but because NASCAR fucked up and didn't clean up the speedy dry well enough.
Yeah, you spin your tires and that shit in a heartbeat.
Newman was taken inside lane on Dillon, and he ended up getting. He couldn't It looked like his car kind of skidded a little bit. It didn't.
I have to
pull out like he
step
wanted
away
to.
from the microphone for about 60 seconds if y'all want to carry on and get to the next topic. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. So we could always just edit this out if you want to.
Yeah, but that's more work. But go ahead and finish up your
trims.
thought. Go ahead and finish up your thought on the cleaning.
I finished it. It's just I don't know. I don't like I do agree. The cars are definitely there's definite noticeable problems after the speedy dry comes out, and we have sweepers that clean the streets of the cities, so why don't we have something like that on the track?
They do.
Instead of just using a frickin' giant air or jet.
Yeah, they do have brush trucks. They have brush trucks and they have jet dryers. Hurdon, we're getting the two fused. But yeah, no, they have both jet dryers, which is a jet engine on the back of a truck, Air Titan fucking blowing the shit off, and brush trucks. But that shit seeped into the concrete. Brushes are only going to do so well. to an extent, especially when it's thicker, a thicker material that's embedded because of the oil. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's just they need a vacuum or they need to get like a fucking power hose and fucking get that taken care of. I mean, they can dry up a track pretty quickly with water. So, I'll get a pressure washer if you need to.
Well, let's get to the end of it.
Yeah, let's move on. Any final topics that anyone wants to mention from the race?
I just want to say, as of right now, in my opinion, 2 top drivers in NASCAR got to be Truex and Larson. They've just been the most consistent all season. You're not seeing anybody else. Jimmy Johnson is stealing wins this year, but that's about the only final topic. I'm ready to go to Pocono picks whenever you guys are.
Before we go to the picks, I just say Pocono confuses the hell out of me. It's a really weird looking track. Just to go from all the ovals,
it's fun to watch,
common and everything, and now see this kind of.
And for any viewers that aren't common with NASCAR, Pocono has 3 very different corners. They have a high-speed corner, they have a very slow-speed, sharper corner, and then a normal speed corner, and they all have different banking. They're based on 3 different racetracks. They took a corner out of that racetrack, basically, and based the design on that. It's called the Tricky Triangle for a reason, because you can't set the car up for any full race, because you've got to be good in maybe 1 or 2 turns. You're not going to be good in all 3. That's it.
But you did mention before the race that Bubba Wallace was going to be driving the 43 car. I don't really know the significance of that. I know he's a really good, or he's like a famous person, but
yeah,
I know nothing about him.
Well, he's not famous. He's
He's
won in the Truck Series. I believe he's won in the Xfinity Series.
Yes.
He is basically like, to reference it to baseball, he's a prospect, and he's for Roush, but he's going to stop his Xfinity Series while he races the 43 car for Ford, and he's a good driver. Yeah, he's got a lot of talent. I mean, he's in the same kind of league as like your Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott. I wouldn't say he's quite as good, but possibly could be a surprise winner at some point in the next couple of years. Very personable too.
Oh, so he's up and
great
coming
during interviews. Yeah.
I was reading something regarding him at Michigan, where they're struggling to get a sponsor for him. Supposed to be racing in Michigan, I think, as well, and there were some sponsorship issues or something like that.
Well, Michigan's right after Pocono, or it has been for the last couple of years at least. Okay, so y'all want to do Pocono picks?
Sure.
Yeah.
Caboose, you want to start this one?
Sure. Because of how much of a crapshoot Pocono is, and either you're going to get extraordinarily lucky or unlucky, I'm going to roll the dice on this one and say Chase.
Okay.
Would he be considered a dark horse in that situation, or no? Because he does race very, very well, and he's nearly gotten a couple wins last year.
With Hendrick's speed, okay, the fact that he does not have a win yet this year, I'll let you have Chase as dark horse.
He's like the middle ground, because you know he can win. You know he has the ability,
it's just a matter
he has
of
the equipment, he has the talent. Yeah, it's just win.
Hendrick is fast at Pocono.
Damn,
There's only a second year in this series, right?
Yeah, yeah. Let Caboose have Chase for dark horse. I'm okay with that.
I was gonna have him as a regular pick.
Oh, we're gonna have him as a regular pick. You can have him as a regular pick.
All right.
Oh, now you pick a regular pick.
No, I was gonna have Chase as a regular pick, but fuck. All right. Well, in that case, if Chase is gonna be the dark horse, I'm gonna pick Junior. He's good at Pocono.
Ugh. That's probably a bigger dark horse.
I mean,
How long has it been
if
since
you're
your last
okay
one?
with changing,
So you're going with 2 dark horses. That's fine.
I mean,
No,
hey, if you let
no,
me
Dale
have Chase
Jr.'s
if you'll let me have Chase as
no,
a
Dale
regular
Jr.'s
driver,
won twice at Pocono.
When's the last
Dale
time
Jr.'s
Dale
won
Jr.'s
Pocono
won
a couple years.
a race?
Well, he was out for quite a while.
Yeah, before that, though, like...
Less than 2 years ago. He won at Phoenix. The same year he won I think it was 2014. He swept Pocono. He won both of them. So, yeah,
they
the
can
2
do it again
good
this
picks.
yeah, I was originally going to
What about
say
you,
Miguel
Justin?
is my dark horse, but because you never know, and they were good
No,
last year.
You're all right. You're all right.
Oh, can I just brag real quick? I got the
No.
pick right
Yeah,
last week.
Shut up.
Pick Jimmy Johnson to win.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I play shot in the dark, but whatever. Okay. Yeah, my picks. I'm gonna go really surprising here with you guys. Tony Stewart and Carl Edwards. Boom. I think they're gonna win.
I'll allow it. Tony was good last year, and Carl was pretty decent
Oh
as well.
god.
So,
Surprise announcement. Something's wrong with the 43 driver. Carl Edwards makes his return.
Yeah.
Carl Edwards returns to the 99, and Tony goes into what the fuck car did he drive?
The 20?
For like, nah, there was a car that he drove for like one race for somebody. I forgot who was like 30 something.
Probably for Junior Motorsports. I don't know, but all right. So,
but yeah,
what are your
my
real
actual
picks?
picks? I'm gonna go with Kevin Harvick and Casey Kane. My 2 picks.
Casey Kane got picked twice.
Kevin Harvick and Casey Kane. All right, well, I'm gonna go along the same boat as Justin here, and I'm gonna go with race winner Dale Earnhardt Sr. and runner-up Mark Martin.
That fucker is coming out of
Can't talk.
retirement again. This is, what,
No.
the 4th time?
Yeah.
I was gonna make a coming out of the grave joke for Senior, but maybe that's too bad.
Oh man.
Dude.
No,
How
let's
many
go
fucking
with
times did
my
Mark
real
Martin
picks.
come out of retirement?
A couple. But I'll go with has Logano won this year?
I know he.
I don't think he
won
has.
The. I know he. What the fuck's the race that we have before the Daytona?
Shootout
Yeah. No, wait. Yeah.
or the duels?
Shootout. He won the
Okay.
shootout.
Would y'all consider him a dark horse at this point?
Logano, no.
Same.
If Chase is a well, no,
He won the
fuck
Clash.
you. Okay. Well, I need a different dark horse then.
Logano made it to the last part of the chase.
I'll go with
Hurdon.
Ryan Newman. Even though he's won this year, you're not expecting him to win. It's fair enough on that one.
Sure, why not?
We had the discussion
Okay.
Even though I
last
think you
week.
I think you told him last
Alright.
week. Yeah, he couldn't pick Newman as a dark horse.
Okay. Fine. God damn it. Ricky's
there eventually.
No, he's won.
Austin Dillon, no way, he won.
Yeah, I was. I gotta.
Go Danica Patrick.
All right. Hold
Screw
on.
it.
I got it. Clint Boyer.
Okay, that's a person we all agreed is a dark horse.
Okay. And for my main pick, I'm going with the Blue Deuce, Bad Brad.
That's about
He's gonna redeem himself after 2 bad weeks.
I think that's as bad as bold as a choice right now as me picking Junior.
I don't know. Junior's been
I have
getting
faith.
back into the rhythm of things lately, where Kozlowski's been getting out of the rhythm of things.
All right, I go with
Things that
Boyer,
aren't his
Boyer
fault.
and Brad. All right. So, anyways, tell us what your picks for Pocono are, and
Wait, before we end,
Don't-
I just have
don't tell us
one
what your
quick
picks are
question.
after the race. Yeah, go ahead.
How long do you think it's going to be before Tony Stewart does come out of retirement, just temporarily to fill in for somebody? Think it's going to happen? For a couple cup races, somebody gets injured or something, and
I don't see
I don't see it.
it. He sure as fuck doesn't want to go
He's
into
having
Ford.
too much fun doing the. He's racing in other series on the side, I
cars.
believe. He's having fun doing that. I think he's done. He's more satisfied managing his team.
Mm-hmm.
I think these guys are about to the point where once they're done, they're done. But, anyways, yeah, let's
okay.
go ahead and wrap it up here, Justin.
Oh, man, you did
Anything
the intro.
else?
No,
Okay,
we
well,
got everything in.
this has been the Broken Shifter Podcast. As always, sometimes, this has been Hurdon.
This was Carbon.
And this is still Caboose.
Captain Yanni over there. And this is still
Did we
Hurdon.
bore you?
Yes.
And hopefully we will be back next week until our sponsorship runs out that we don't have.
Yep.
Anyways,
With ourselves.
goodbye.
Sponsored by Broken Shifter Podcast. Booyah.